welcome to yoga. Tonight we're going to do a nice vinyasa flow, which is just basically a collaboration of the poses that we do all the time, uh, just kind of more in a sequence. And we're going to introduce a couple of new poses, a new standing pose, a balancing pose, and just a variation of a pose called crescent pose, which is kind of done in a high lunge. And that's just really good for opening the hips and the hip flexors. So let's get started. Let's get ourselves into a simple cross-legged pose, however you're comfortable. Let's take a minute here. Let that body relax. Let the mind relax. Roll the shoulders back a few times. Try to get those sitting bones planted firmly into the ground. And just try to elongate that spine, each vertebrae at a time, all the way up. Nice deep breaths from the belly. And let's just try to tune out the rest of the day, what's happened already, what we have to do yet. And let's just take this time to be present in the moment, turning the focus inward, falling into the natural rhythm of the breath. And on each inhale, let's just extend that belly, let it expand, push all the way out. And on the exhale, let's contract. So you want to almost dip that belly into the spine. Let's take a couple more deep breaths like this. And then let's go ahead. We're going to also practice a new breathing technique today. It's called bellows of breath, or breath of bellows. And basically, if you think of bellows as starting a fire, that's what we're doing. It's igniting an internal fire that is really good for increasing metabolism, helping the digestive system along, a million great things. And it's all done through the nose. So just like when we practiced our square breathing with the inhales and outhales at the same intervals, this is that same technique, but it's just a little different. So all we're going to do is from the same sitting pose that we're in, we're just going to bring the arms out like a V to the side, and we're going to make thumbs up on both sides. Keep that back nice and straight. And we're going to start with the bellows of 3 breaths in, 3 breaths out. So just like you're pumping the bellows. So it's 3 sharp inhales, 3 sharp exhales, okay? So we're going to do that for about 6 times and just do it at your own pace as you're comfortable. Nice. And let the hands relax down. The more advanced we get in our breathing techniques and in fire breathing or bellow breathing like that, those techniques can be extended anywhere from 1 minute to 30 minutes. But when you're starting, just do a few like that at a time to get your body used to it. All right, so from here, let's go ahead and enter that supine twist from the left hand onto the right knee, right hand behind, shoulders back and down, spine nice and straight, neck wherever it's comfortable. Back to center. And bring it to the other side, right hand to the left knee, left hand behind, same thing here. Back to center. And we're gonna do another twist right off of this. So we're gonna take that left knee, bend it down, bring that right knee across the leg if you can. If this is awkward or painful or too much, you can leave it on the outside of that calf as well. And then we're just going to take that left elbow to the right knee and reach the right hand behind. It's the same basic stretch, it's just targeting different muscles. So as you press your arm against that knee, you can feel that stretch up through the hips and the glutes. And just remember to keep breathing through this. And then back to center. And slowly we're going to change on to the other side. So we're going to bend that right leg down. Again, do what's comfortable for you. So if this is too much or awkward, keep your leg right here, okay? Right elbow to that left knee, left hand behind you, spine nice and straight, shoulders down. Nice deep breaths. And back to center. Let's go ahead and come on over onto hands and knees. And we're just going to do some circles to the right, continuing that opening. Anytime you do circles and twists in yoga, it helps the digestive system, the metabolism, and the endocrine system. So let's just start. Make them as big or small as you want. Just rotate through. We're going to do about 6 on each side. So just go with what feels good for your body. And then when you're done with that side, we're going to come back to center. Sit back on the heels, hands on the knees. Take a moment to kind of recalibrate, refocus. And then come back to hands and knees. And let's do those same circles to the left. Again, at your own speed, however big or small you want to make them. One more time. Come back to center. Let's go ahead and sit back on those heels one more time, shoulders down. A couple of nice deep breaths here. And then we're going to come back to the hands and knees. We're going to go ahead, We're going to come up into a downward dog, and we're do what's called stoking the fire, which we've done variations of before. So let's come up to that downward dog. Again, whatever's comfortable for you. Just remember to push back from the hands and down through the heels and the feet. We're going to take a couple nice deep breaths here. And then we're going to extend that left leg up and then bring it into the chest. We're going to do this 6 times on each side. So it's going to be an inhale up, exhale in. Inhale up, exhale in. Let's do 3 more. Let's come back down to the knees, back onto the heels, and just take a moment to let the body absorb that. These are all really good ways to warm up the entire body, not just the outside of the body, but the inside of the body and all the internal systems as well. Let's take one more nice deep breath here. And then we're going to come back to the hands and knees, back up into our downward dog. A couple of breaths here to get used to it and secure. And then let's go ahead and extend that right leg up in towards the nose. Inhale and exhale. Let's do 3 more of these. Back into downward dog, back onto the knees. Nice work. Sit here for a minute, let yourself naturally regain that breath, and then let's widen the knees just a little bit and come forward into our child's pose, letting the head rest down. Remember, you can always keep extending these hands with each breath. And slowly come back up to hands and knees. Let's go ahead, come back up into our downward dog. From here, we're just going to step that right foot forward. And what you want to do as far as you can get your foot, and then you just walk it the rest of the way. So we're going to come into that deep lunge. Now, if we were standing up, this would be full crescent pose with our arms extended overhead. But what we're going to do is drop that left knee down, come up to the right knee, and then bring the arms overhead. And you really want to reach those fingertips towards the ceiling here. Nice deep breaths. This is helping us prepare for our standing balancing pose. So let's take a couple more nice deep breaths on this side. And then go ahead, drop those arms back down. Step that right foot back, up into downward dog. Walk that left foot forward, just so it's up between the hands. Drop that right knee. Bring the hands to that left knee. And then bring the arms overhead, sinking in deep through those hips. Nice deep breaths here. And then release. Let's go ahead, step back to the hands and knees. And let's just walk the feet forward into a standing forward bend. And just let the upper body completely relax here. Let the legs do the work and hold the strength. And then let's slowly roll ourselves on up and turn towards the front. What we're going to do is called an eagle pose. And we're going to do it in steps, and I want you to do it and practice it in steps, and then we'll fully put the move together, okay? So the thing with this one is that it involves the lower body and the upper body in coordination at one time. So we're going to start with the upper body. So keeping the feet about hip width apart, or like you would in your mountain pose. We're going to bring the elbows up right in front. We're going to take this right elbow, cross it over the left. And then if this is as far as you can get, if your shoulders are tight, that's great. If you're still here, that's fine. If you can, try to bring those palms together and then lift the elbows up. So I'll turn to the side so you can see. But here's what I want you to remember. If this is unattainable, that's no problem. Let's just bring those elbows up, bring them as close to each other as you can, bring the hands together as close as you can. So even if you're not able to fully engage in this, that's fine. That just means we need to get the shoulder muscles loosened up a little bit more. So wherever you're at with that, you want to just keep the elbows just about shoulder height, okay? And keep that soft bend in the knees. Now, once you're here and comfortable after a few breaths, let's go ahead and relax those arms and do the portion with the legs. So this involves crossing that right foot over the left and then bending that left knee. Now, if you want to do the full eagle pose, it's crossing that left or the right foot around the right or the left leg. But for tonight, let's just practice getting it up to that. That's right. So from the side, and if you need to use the wall, here you go. All you're doing is trying to get any of your toes wrapped around that calf of the left leg. Okay? So once we get that practiced, let's reintroduce the arms. Okay? So we have the arms crossed in front, and then walk that right leg over, bend the knees, and then lift the right foot up. Now, if you want to try to go and wrap it around, that's great. But I think for starters, just keep that right knee over the left, like that, okay? Once you come out of that, shake it out. We're gonna do it one more time. This is more of an advanced move, but it incorporates so many awesome things into increasing our strength and balance and flexibility that I want you to try it. And it's a move that personally I haven't done in quite a while, so I'm shaky with it as well, but that's okay. It's good to push ourselves. It's good to test our thresholds. So let's try that one more time on this side. Keeping that soft bend in the knees, let's cross those right arm over the left, lift to the shoulder level, and walk that right foot over the left. And then if you feel you can, lift that right foot up or keep it down. Okay? Nice. Now we're going to do that same thing on the other side. And I want to remind you that it's okay to stumble and fall during this because I still do after 20 plus years, right? The body is a constant work in progress. It's a constant movement and motion. So each move that we make is always going to be different. Each side is going to be different. So now when we're bringing that to the other side, we're going to bring that left arm over the right. So you're just crossing the left elbow over the right. If you can bring the palms together, awesome. If they're out here, that's fine too, okay? And then this time we're just gonna walk that left foot over to the right side, right? So if this is where you feel balanced and stable, stay here. If you want to try to lift that left foot up, go for it. Otherwise, keep it right here. And just keep a soft bend in those knees. Beautiful. That is an advanced move that we just did. Let's go ahead, bring those arms overhead, reach up through the fingers, exhale down. One more time, inhale, arms up. And exhale, release, come down into a forward bend. Take a few nice deep breaths here. And let's come down onto the toes. You can either keep the arms down in front or bring them up to the knees, straightening the back. Take a few nice deep breaths here. And then we're going to come down onto a seated pose again. We're going to go ahead, bring those feet in front. Get a good hip stretch, holding on to the toes, bringing the elbows down. Shoulders relaxed, and just lean forward into that stretch from the hips. And then come right back up. And then go ahead, keep those feet together, hold on to the ankles, and open up the chest as you roll those shoulders back. And just let the legs release towards the floor. And come back. Let's go ahead and come down onto our back. We're going to bend both knees into the chest. Go ahead and just squeeze those knees gently in towards you. Nice deep breaths. While you're doing this, remember to keep those shoulders relaxed. We're going to keep the knees bent and just drop the arms open to the side. And we're going to drop both knees to that right side as far as you can. If you want, you can bring them all the way to the ground. If you want to make it more challenging and engage the abs and the obliques, then keep the knees about a couple inches off the floor. And just remember to keep breathing whichever way you choose. And then slowly come back to center. Let's let those feet rest down. And then bring the knees back in. Let's turn over towards that left side. Right arm is extended out. And again, it's up to you how far you want your knees to come down here. I like to keep them a couple inches off the ground and keep those obliques and abs engaged. Nice deep breaths. Back to center. Let's drop those knees back to the floor, cross that right ankle over the left knee. Let's lift that left foot up, grab onto that left leg. And just slowly bring that leg in towards you. It might only be an inch of movement that you get here, and that's fine. Okay. We want to stop where we can feel that stretch. It's a deep hip glute stretch. So as soon as you can feel where that's really targeting what you need, that's where you want to stop. Keep those shoulders down. And then slowly let the hands release. Bring that foot to the floor. Bring that right foot down, and let's just repeat that on the left side. So cross that left foot over the right, hold on to that right leg. And sometimes you might not get hardly any movement when you bring them in because your body will start to put up a resistance, and you want to respect that and be mindful of that. So when it's coming to the point where you're hurting or you're straining to stay like this, you've gone too far. So ease into it. One more nice deep breath here. And then on the exhale, release. Let's drop both feet back to the floor. Let's go ahead and walk those feet together, letting the knees drop open, and just place the hands on the belly. Close the eyes. Let those shoulders relax to the floor. And just focus on releasing the tension and stress from the hips and the hip flexors. Let the shoulders relax down. Let the small of the back relax into the floor. And just tune in to your breath, lowering that heart rate after we accelerated it. Each time you inhale, let the belly push those hands out. Each time you exhale, let that belly sink towards the floor. Just take a few more nice deep breaths here, really letting any tension go that you're holding on through the hips and the legs, and really letting the shoulders and the back release into the floor. And then we're going to very slowly extend that left foot out and the right foot out, letting the heels rest on the floor, letting the feet drop open, letting the arms rest at the side. And just continue to feel that nice, gentle energy that you've created internally and externally. And at the same time, listen to that breath. Enjoy the relaxation that you've also created. And just relax the entire back of the body into the floor. Let it feel completely supported and secure. allowing the front of the body to be open and light. From here, let's just slowly begin to move those fingers and toes. And then bend the knees in slowly. Hold on to the knees. Roll yourself up into sitting. And let's come back into a simple cross-legged pose. Keep those knees or the hands on the knees, shoulders back, eyes closed. Take a few nice deep breaths here. Let's take the inhale, bring the arms overhead, reach up through the fingers. Exhale back down. One more time, inhale the arms up. On the exhale, let's press those hands together gently, bringing the palms together at the heart. Thank you for joining me in this practice, and I will see you next time. Namaste.